My friends, this is Dr. B, the best doctor in medicine, the best of the best of the best. 30 plus years of experience in clinical medicine. Today, I want to talk to you about your heart, about the fact that you might have the most common genetic heart disease, and you don't even know it. The most common cardiomyopathy, the most common genetic heart disease is genetically means not caused by any like smoking or alcohol or anything else, is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. HCM. HCM, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. One individual out of 500 does have this condition. It is extremely common. Take 500 people in the street, at the stadium, one of them has this genetic condition. Most of them don't even know that they have it. 1 in 500 people, right? And it starts as soon as it starts to cause trouble as soon as you are a young teenager. How does it cause trouble? Among many other things, it can cause sudden cardiac death. SCD, sudden cardiac death, in teenagers, in young adults, or in older adults who didn't even know. Most of them don't even know that they have it, and therefore they cannot have the prevention to avoid sudden cardiac death. So think about that. 1 person out of 500 is having this number 1 genetic heart condition, disease, and most of them don't even know that they have it until they suffer from a sudden cardiac arrest. Now, if there is somebody around with a defibrillator to give them a shock and to revive them, good for them. They are lucky. But many times it happens when there's nobody around, or there's somebody around but no defibrillator, or they are far away from any emergency medical service, and they go and they die, right? Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, my apologies, HCM, it's getting late. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a genetic disease of the heart that makes the pumping chamber, the left ventricle that pumps blood into your body, becomes thick, big and thick. So it can cause, of course, problems because it becomes big and thick. But in addition to that, it can cause arrhythmias, sudden arrhythmias, ventricular tachycardia, and ventricular fibrillation. Don't go into the details. I don't want to do it. I don't want my channel to be a medical channel for medical doctors, medical students, even though I used to teach medicine to medical professionals. I want to keep my channel as a channel of healthcare, to help you know your condition, to help you know medicine so that you can stay healthy, right? The point of my channel is not to teach medicine, but to teach you healthcare in a simple, easy to understand manner. So in hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, you can develop a sudden cardiac arrest. Your heart, suddenly it stops beating regularly. It stops pumping blood regularly into your body. right? And the medical term is, of course, sudden cardiac death caused by an arrhythmia caused cold ventricular fibrillation. Let's not go into the details. Think about the young teenager. He's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, the young adult, 18, 20, etc., who are exercising, doing sports, running, hiking, biking, playing tennis, blah, 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 and it doesn't have to be at the high level. And suddenly this young teenager or young adult collapse, to the verb to collapse, he collapses in the soccer field, in the basketball field, playing tennis or anything else, swimming, etc., and has to be saved by, of course, a defibrillator, right, if it is available. And if not, of course, CPR has to be given, and hopefully there is the emergency medical services around, and they must not come too late. But if the kid is exercising in the mountains or hiking or biking, blah, 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 far away from anybody, far away from the emergency medical services, the kid's gonna collapse of that sudden cardiac arrest, which will cause sudden cardiac death because nobody's around to help him, or the people who are around don't know how to do CPR, and even if they do CPR, there's no emergency medical services to come help them and to come take the kid to the hospital, and the kid, the teenager or the young adult, is gonna die of a sudden cardiac arrest. It will lead to sudden cardiac death. The most common genetic cardiac anomaly that can lead, of course, to sudden cardiac death. So what can you do about it? If you are a young man or a young woman or a teenage man or a teenage woman and you want to engage in high-level activities, high-level sports, right? Make sure that you have your doctor send you to a cardiovascular clinic, like, for example, our clinic where Dr. B works, so that you can be evaluated by an EKG and an ultrasound of your heart called an echocardiogram, also called echo. It's an ultrasound of your heart to make sure that you're not suffering from this hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, HCM, before you engage in high-level sports. Now, of course, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy can also kill, even if the sport is not high level. But then the problem is that then we will have to screen every teenager, whether male or female, and it's just not possible. So that's why the screening is reserved for only the teenager and young adults that engage in high-level sports, high-level endurance, high-level running and biking, high-level swimming, high-level, any sports at high level, high athletics. Then it's important that you ask your family doctor, your general practitioner, your internist, your nurse practitioner, whoever the CATSO is taking care of your health, that you do want to engage in high-level activity. We get a lot of these young kids, young teenagers and young adults in our beautiful cardiovascular clinic, and your doctor will send you to such a clinic like ours so that you can be screened to make sure that you're not one of those 1% out of 500, which is a huge amount, that suffer from this genetic condition that can kill you. And most people don't even know that they have it until they suffer from a sudden cardiac arrest, which will lead to sudden cardiac death, right? And it's very easy to do. It takes 10 to 15 minutes for an expert, cardiovascular imaging expert like Dr. B, to put the ultrasound probe on your heart and to make sure that you do not have this condition. And of course, you need to have an EKG, a stress test, right, in which they make you run in a beautiful treadmill, right, or a bicycle, and at the same time they record the cardiac activity of your heart, right. It takes just a couple of visits to a beautiful cardiovascular clinic like ours, so that you can be screened, and then you can engage in high-level sports as much as you want. Again, we cannot offer this screening to every teenager, because then it would be impossible to screen all these teenagers in the United States of America to make sure that 1 in 500 of them doesn't have this nasty genetic condition of their heart. So we limit the screening for high-level athletes, people who want to do high-level, whether they're teenager or young adult or older adult, who want to do at high-intensity level. Guys, remember to always do your screenings, whether you're a teenager, a young adult, or an advanced age adult, so that you stay away from all these diseases and everything. And most of these screening, guys, are covered by insurance. If there is a justification, if there is an indication, if they are not covered by insurance, well, become self-pay. Means make sure that you save money for in case your health insurance doesn't cover this kind of extra screening, right? Because health insurers are like car insurance, or like freaking home insurers. They are good at collecting your money, but when it comes to paying, means covering you, they find all sorts of excuses. That's why my uncle had to wait 2 years before he got approved for his knee replacement surgery. My auntie had to wait almost a year until she got approved for her hearing aid, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And of course, Medicare and Medicaid is the same thing, whether it's private insurance or government insurance or state-sponsored insurance or Medicare. It's just a disaster. They are doing everything they can to delay or deny anything that has to do with covering you and reimbursing the doctor or the surgeon or the medical team who will perform that preventive study or that treatment on you. That's why starting very young, as soon as you start making money, regardless of what age you are, start to save money into an emergency fund for your car, for your home, your apartment, but also for your health, right? There are different health savings accounts. Talk to your lawyer, to your accountant, whoever the cazzo is doing your taxes, to see if you can put some money into a health savings accounts and blah, blah, blah. Because healthcare in America, unfortunately, is going down the drain. It becomes more and more difficult to do these screenings, and they are more and more restricted. And it's going to get even worse and worse and worse with time. I posted some video about that. So whether or not you are a young teenager or a young adult or advanced adult and you want to engage in high-level sports, make sure you ask your doctor to perform, to send you to a beautiful cardiovascular clinic like ours, so that we can screen you and you make sure that you don't have this most common, number one most common genetic cardiac condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, HCM, that can cause you to have sudden cardiac death. It's crazy, and it happens every day all around the United States. Dr. B is a medical doctor, a real one, a master in science, in health sciences, in public health, with 14 high-level licenses in medical imaging. I took the Hippocratic Oath more than 30 years ago to never, ever, ever put my own benefit above yours. You will be always the number one for me, and I will never, ever give you my opinion. I will always give you what the scientific medical studies have proven. I will only give you a scientific evidence and tell you what you need to do based on this scientific evidence. I love medicine and I love you, regardless of your gender, age, ethnicity, blah, 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 color of your skin, religion, blah, 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 and politics. I don't give a cazzo. I love you. I give you a big hug, and I hope to talk to you in the next video. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to get back to me. Put your comments, question, any cazzo you want down there. I will get back to you as soon as I have the time in my busy life, which I love a lot. Busy but super interesting life that I have, and I will never retire from medicine. I will keep teaching you until I'm 100 years old. God bless you. Bye-bye.